como prender a atenção do investidor durante o seu pitch. Fala galera, Augusto Tonza, investidor anjo e mentor de startup. A análise de hoje foi de uma fintech e este é mais um vídeo da série Análise de Pitch. Hello?
Hello.
Hi Tivia, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. And what about you?
I'm fine too. Okay, so
Mm.
what I want to do now is to go back to your presentations from the beginning. I'd like to make comments on the parts.
Like, what is your before doing all these things? What is your feel like? How will be coming up in the market? And what do you feel about this concern and the idea?
I think the idea is good. There's a market out there. You seems to bring a good differentiation to the market, but I'm gonna talk to it about it in a second. I'd like just to mention few things about the whole presentation. I believe that it is beautiful. It's the content, the way that you are presenting, the design is good, which is one aspect that is important because it creates a sense of organization, very good design. How can I say that in English? It feels good for us to see, and it brings us the idea that it will be also applied for customers. So it's a good way of having a good UX for your startup as a whole. So the presentation and the brand of your company is in all kinds of communication, including your business plan. So this is very good. One thing that I would mention here in the first page, actually just one thing before I talk about the whole presentation. It's a Word document. And there is a flow of a pitch, but it's not a pitch document. It's a Word document for being presented. If you include or if you build a presentation like PowerPoint or something like that, that would be easy to follow when you are presenting, I think you have a game when presenting.
Okay.
When you started your presentation, what I would suggest for you, instead of presenting your company, I would suggest you to present the problem.
Okay.
But in a different way. You include all aspects of the problem. What I would suggest you to do is to talk about everything that you presented, but in a different way. Try to use a persona. Do you know persona?
Okay.
So if you tell a story here about one person, which is your persona, or more than one, depending on which problem each persona has, you could bring them to a story and you could start with it. It is more easy to follow. We could put in the client's shoes and start seeing in a perspective of the customer.
Okay.
So we could have a better idea on the problems in the real world based on the story that you're gonna tell.
Oh.
it's more effective, because when you talk about, for example, Jane, which is looking for some money, but now she is not able to get, because she has looked for it in banks, or she is now having the traditional way of doing things, and it's very hard for her because of that, those, and these things. But now she has another option. She has the fund house product, which represents for her a benefit in terms of A, B, and C, and how it would work. And then you present the solution in the story. You don't need to break your presentation in blocks, because now you are presenting in blocks. You present who is Funhouse, what is the problem, what is the solution, what is business model, what is service again, because service is directly correlated to the solution. And then you talk about pricing, which is direct correlated to the business model. So you build the presentation in blocks. If you build the presentation in a story, it's more effective.
Okay.
And another aspect, very, very important aspect that you should consider when you're pitching. You need to create an emotional connection with your audience. And if you are talking to an investor, you need to create an emotional connection with him. So in order to be able to do that, having a story behind your whole presentation is key. So think about it when you are building the story.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about the market size, you could have said that Jane is not alone in the market. Jane is like other X million people in India who are looking for lending.
Okay.
And now there are banks that are lending for people and small companies and your target in a total amount of X billion dollar. But there's a market out there that's not being helped. So using our platform, their problems would be addressed.
Okay.
And then you include everything in the story.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Good. I would have more things to say going forward. There would be more aspects to talk about in other parts of the pitch. But one thing that I want to mention, which is a quick one, is about the team. Team is key, so you should consider include photos. And why photos? Because it's more personalized. I can see the people, and it's important. Another aspect here is to include their results and their characteristics. Why? Why Neha and why Vikash are the best people for me to invest? In this slide and this document, I know that he and she are the founders. But why should I invest in them? Oh, we should invest because they have experience in the finance market, or because they are great in doing X, and we have a team that complement these characteristics, and together they have reached results of blah 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 blah, in,
Oh,
because
yeah.
team is key for me to invest and for every investor. So
Okay.
because what has been said, not only in Silicon Valley but also in the rest of the world, is that we invest less in business and more in people, because we are
Okay.
investing in
Mm.
startup, in early stage startups. they
Okay.
they don't have a business yet. They are going there, they are entering in the market, they are starting, they are growing. So the business itself, it's under development.
Mm.
And what would make it possible, what would make it grow, what would make it successful, will be the
Mm-mm.
team and will be the people. So it's key to understand who are they.
Okay.
So you need also to take it into consideration, and there would
Mm.
be other topics to talk about. There would be topics related to the financial parts. There would have other aspects on your presentation that I could make comments on. But it's
Mm.
just to provide you an idea, general idea on how I could take a look on your presentation in the
Mm.
investor's eyes. I believe that
Mm.
you could feel a little bit about how we can see your presentation and your business as a whole.
Yeah,
I
I could get something else. Like not only this you told, right? It should be in the storage format, and it should be in the real time examples. It should be given with the real time examples and all those things. I can get very well what you're saying.
Great. I'm happy that you like it. It was very good to talk to you.
Thank you, and thanks a lot to you for
Uh,
your investment on time.
you're welcome. Have a good
Yeah,
day.
thank you. It's good night here.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Esta foi a análise realizada em que falamos como tornar a sua apresentação mais suave, como fazer com que o seu pitch ele seja mais atrativo aos olhos do investidor. E se você curtiu esse vídeo, deixe seu like. Se você tem alguma pergunta, pode deixar aqui nos comentários abaixo. Para receber atualizações sobre os novos vídeos, me acompanhe nas redes sociais, se inscreva no meu canal de YouTube que vai estar aqui no primeiro comentário abaixo. E para ver o pitch completo realizado pela empreendedora antes da minha análise, é só ficar acompanhando esse vídeo e até a próxima.
So actually in the market it is very hard to sustain. For your information, I'll share one thing. Like recently, RBI has cancelled the license for 7,000 companies. Cancel the license for 7,000 companies who doesn't maintain the compliances.
Okay.
But our license is not cancelled across these 7,000 companies, and the players in this field, the NBFC, is very less, and just 3,000 players are across the country. So it is very easy to penetrate the market.
Okay.
So the company has maintained the compliances in that way, and it is actually approved by the government, and it is been allotted with the land allotment. You know, like the government has adopted one of our alliance company, and it has given with the land allotment for the company in the name of the company.
Okay.
This is an additional credit to be like it can be a feast for a investor. Like it is, the company will not be a loss making company in future because it is having some government support in the both state and central government support.
Okay.
Let's proceed to the next. And not only with this RBI, I actually did say, not only with this RBI license, we have the federal bank as our funding and technology partner, and we are secured with like GoDaddy security. Okay.
Okay.
And actually, the problem in the current market is like people are making the lending with the submission of document, financial document, collateral security, and all those things. And it takes some times to upload the documents, and it will be verified manually in the backend through some like some persons, admin persons, and it will be given with the reversion later on, like in 2 days or 3 days. They'll be keeping on calling, and then the fund will be disbursed in the sense from the company account to their the user's bank account. The loan amount will be disbursed. This is the traditional culture followed in the funding like funding stages. But what we are making is, the solution we are making is, everything is automized. No need of people in the back end. Everything will be sorted out through the system. The basic application, the mobile application, is made in such a way. It need not need any manual verification. It need not take to a person, like nothing is needed manually. Everything is automized totally. And another problem is people focus on cities. The educated people are being focused by other applications. But we focus on rural people. Rural people, and we are about to fund 20 cities across the country initially. So like it is not like the person who is salaried will be funded, and it is not like person who is having regular cash flow will be funded. The person who is being verified by the system will be funded and given with pre-approval offers. I think I have explained the solution too. And if other company is taking 1 day or 2 days to disburse the amount, we can make it the verification and the approval in just 2 to 5 minutes is more than enough for us. And business model is just like we have some penetration across the market. Like we need not take any even for a zero interest, we have funding, EMI based funding. EMI based funding in the sense, if it is taking 1 to 7 days for returning the loan amount, okay, we will be giving the 0% interest. This is one credit. And may I know one thing, like up to when you are available? Okay. Actually, the main concern of the business model is to make. Actually, you know what? We have the beta version of the application hosted in the Play Store, and 5,000 data are being with us. 5,000 people have downloaded that, and we have the user data, so that we need not search for the users. Already we have the users who are downloaded, so it is very easy to penetrate in the market. It is more than enough to go ahead with this 5,000 people and making the disbursement. But still we couldn't proceed.
Do you have this information in the presentation?
Actually, this information is not actually in the presentation. It is actually hosted in Play Store, Google Play Store. The application is hosted in the Google Play Store, and the person who are using that particular application is 5,000 plus. And so it is very easy to take off the disbursement, but yet as the funding is not closed, we couldn't take off the project. It is still, and it is being recorded with the bad reviews, like when you'll be opening, what is happening around, and what are the credits given in the API is being over, and the API expired. We are facing such type of issue because of this fundraising issue. Yeah, time has been elapsed, but still we aren't given with a helping hand, and people couldn't understand what and where we are about to go, and the futuristic way and the business model people couldn't understand.
Okay.
Yeah, let's proceed to the next slide. Yeah. Here, the products and services are totally app-based lending. App-based in the sense that the application posted in the Play Store is based, the lending is based on that. And you can have the expense tracker. Expense tracker in the sense, just you will be having some messages, right? Like you will be deducted with some amount, and you'll be credited with some amount. Those will be given messages with the bank, through the bank. Yes?
Yeah.
Are you there? Yeah. So those messages are being read with user's permission. User should give you can take the messages and read. The permission will be taken from the user, and their expenses and income will be calculated in a very intellectual way, like that is built out in the product actually, which is said as the expense tracker. And with that, we'll be giving some budgetization too. That budgetization will say this is the minimal amount that you can use within this particular time. If you are making the amount across this, you will not be fit into the budget. You are going across the budget. You'll be notified like that. So one of the plus point is this expense tracker, and wallet service is another plus point. Like directly the disbursed amount from the main bank account, the company account, will not be directly given to the user's bank account. In between, there is a wallet service which is given by the system. This wallet will have the disbursement amount, and from that wallet, the user can pop out and take the money, and he can make into his bank account. And the CIBIL report will be given for free for the registered users, and direct EMI debit and credit can be like e-match in the sense automatically it will detect the payment if it is there in the wallet. Automatically the payment in the sense the interest, the monthly interest to be paid will be automatically detected from the wallet, which is actually integrated in the application. So another important system is like agent and partner program. The agent will be supporting the user if he doesn't know in between, if he doesn't know to operate the application, or like he doesn't know to upload the documentation. In this case, the nearby agent will be notified with this user is having this lack, and the agent will be going there and he'll be explaining the user, and that is separate part. The EMI collection mechanism is made in a exactly right way, and the people cannot be cannot skip off the EMI and the interest payment. Like in the lapse of 3 months, they have to make it, and they have to close the total payment, the total loan amount plus the interest. So let's proceed to the next slide. Pricing strategy will be like zero interest for a limited period, and the capex is low, so that we will be we are having very competitive rate of interest across other applications in the market. And this is actually a scalable strategy too, because it is very easy to multiply. If in the 4 years, the invested amount, the capital amount can be given with 3x. 2x is minimum guaranteed, 3x to 4x is possibility, but 2x is minimum guaranteed for the investors, because the business is scalable in that way. And like in the market, it is very competitive. It is having the very competitive ROI, I mean rate of interest. We'll proceed to the next slide. This is the total addressable market. Like it is having, the fintech market is growing from last 4 and 5 years. This fintech market is going to a like very nice way it is going, and in next 10 years it will be in the peak way. Whatever the money the people are having should be multiplied, but the multiplication can be done only through lending. It should be lended and taken with the interest. So this market is having a very nice futuristic way in India. In India, it is very flexible, and it is very easy for us to go ahead and penetrate the market with this particular business model. And the penetration can be done overcoming the other application which is live in the market because of the expense tracker and all other advantages. It is very easy to go ahead and penetrate the market. And let's proceed to the next one. As I told earlier, the target audience are not the high salaried persons and who are having very good cash flows. The target audience are rural people, women entrepreneurs, very small entrepreneurs, micro businessmen, and like the person who are in a even the person in the right market, even the right person who is having capability to refund the loan amount is not being funded. It is not been given with the loan amount because the strategy is in that way. But with our application, this problem can be easily solved out, and the target audience can be easily achieved. And next we'll proceed. And the marketing will be done through a digital approach. Exactly the digital approach, the digital marketing, and offline and online marketing both. Like offline marketing will be done through various groups that we are registered, and online marketing will be done digitally. And we are having some channel partners network who can find leads for the loans, and they can be also given with some percentages and commissions according to their lead production. And next, these are all the competitors that is made with nice profit making companies. These are all the companies, and the most important one is lending card. They have raised up to 1 trillion of fundraisings through, I think so, it is through Tiger Global, and all other companies like Capital Flow, Flexi Loans, Early Salary, Money Tap. They're all having a nice, they're all the creams of the NBFC market. Particularly the Early Salary is having some huge potential because the one and only concern in the because they may be suffering for cash crunch in the month end, so they are focusing only the salaried persons. But we are as I told before, we are not only focusing the salaried person, we are focusing the capable person who are able to give the interest back with the capital, with the loan amount. Next. Again, the competitive advantage of fund house. We can give it in minutes, and it is totally paperless. Paperless in the sense we need not put any collateral document, or as I told before, it is not like that. And operating cost is very low because we don't have any third-party services for one application or one user entry. We don't have that type of we don't want any third-party API integration, and it is very in simple way, the operating cost is very low. And for the registered user, we are giving the civil report. They can easily know their status and they can improvise it along the way. Next slide. And actually, this is a very painful part. The product is ready to launch, but yet it is not given with the funding, and still the funding, like fundraising, is going on. Once it is done, once we click the fundraising, we will be going to the launch, and the app will be into the market as soon as possible. Yeah, next. Yeah, actually, like the key challenges is technology, because it will be updated then to then. The development technology which will be updated end to end. And also we have some technical team that is working like tirelessly for the application. And not only this is only one application. Along way we have other two applications as the Alliance Company, Financial Power Software Technology Private Limited, and another thing is Fund Pay, which is a payment solution. I told before, it is actually like that of Paytm. Like we can send from one bank to another bank through Fund Pay. Like it is a nice payment solution with very low cost for the customers and the users registered, of course. So for all these three projects, we are looking for funding, and this 5 million USD is more than enough to go ahead with the first round. And these are the key challenges for us. Actually, the fund acquisition is the key challenge, and convincing the investor is the key challenge, and understanding them, making them understanding like we will be in the market, we will be sustaining in the market, is very tough actually. But still, the bank, the federal bank, the technology partner, and the funding partner, the future funding partner, is very supportive, and but still they are also ready to fund. If we crack this 5 million USD, the bank is also ready to fund in the next stage. But initially, we are looking for the gear to get initiated. Yeah, next. This is actually about the technology integrated, like from end to end process. What is the technology done, and who are all the person involved in between? Like what are the steps in between, like from disbursement to collection, and these are all about the technology. Let's proceed further. And again, this is technology advantages, like QR code enabled, which in the sense with the QR code, it is very, you need not upload the document. You can just scan the QR code of your Aadhaar and PAN. It will be easily taken. It will be taking the data very easily, and verification will be done through video, like just 30 seconds of video of your front camera can be for your face verification, and the face verification of the user who is going to get the loan amount, and like integrated with all credit bureaus of CIBIL, and direct disbursement will be given. There is no other third person involved. Fund house application to the bank through wallet. Wallet is integrated, and it is actually a medium given by us, not the other party. And direct DMI collections are also being done, and automation and making the loan get completed is totally automated to reduce the NPA. I mean, NPA in the sense which is it is a non-profit amount. And next, again about the tech platform, like these federal bank, Roserpay, and AWS. Roserpay is actually the fund collection. We are the medium that we use for fund collection, and AWS GoDaddy is actually giving us the security for the data. And Karza, actually, we don't initially we were making with Karza, but we don't want to go ahead with third party, so we cancel Karza, and it is all ours. The code is all ours, and I mean the API code is all ours, and like this Microsoft technology is used for this video recording and face matching. Whether this the face recorded in the video and the phase actually in the document in the sense the basic identified proof, which is in India they'll be asking for like Aadhaar and the PAN. These both phases are matching or not, we'll be making a face matching. For that we'll be using this Microsoft API. And intellectual property rights in the sense for we have trademark and like patent for the application actually. And then we'll proceed further. Yeah, strengths are already told, like about the market, how we'll be penetrating, and what are the advantages in technology, and about the 0% interest. All those things are strength, and the weaknesses are actually the same. Fund acquisition, and we have to make the person's trust us, like we are not fake. We are the person who are struggling to penetrate in the market and penetrate to make a futuristic way. So making them understand is our weakness initially. Next, like we have more and more opportunities as the players are very less when compared with other field. The players in this NBFC are very less, and we in future we are planning for both online and offline. Online will be fund house and offline will be Chattisgarh and Co Lending Private Limited. And in this case, we don't have any. We may not have any competitors, and the product is actually customizable as we have the in-house team. And on threats, like it may take the interest may take sometimes, like slow recovery process may take, and like NPA may be negative. NPA may be negative, but which can be easily done. Like when we initiate, it can be sorted out with the right solution. And like rate of interest can be changed in between. Like if like rate of interest can be changed in between, and that can be made working with the process V2. Yeah, the required fund would be 5 million USD for the first round. 5 million USD in the sense in Indian money it is 35 crores, with which 90% of the amount will be taken for only for the rotation process. I mean the lending process. The 10% will be taken for development fee, because for development we didn't go ahead with any fee, and it is made with the full efforts and sacrifice. We didn't make any payment for development. And like 90% of the payment will be done for that, and 10% will be taken for development plus marketing, digital marketing, both online and offline. Yeah, next. Like one credit that I can lift my collar and say that the company is a debt-free company. There is no debts at all. The credit value of the company is very high when compared with other successful company in the market, and it is actually very liable, and the investors can be very happy to invest in this company if they are actually seeing who is like what is fund house and who are dealing that. If they are actually seeing that, the investors will be very happy to fund us. And further, and of course, you can invest with us because of the 70% low operating cost and the trend technology. And like we are the direct promoters. There is no consultants in between. We are the direct promoters, and you are going to directly invest us, which is actually also a credit point. Then further, as I told before, like more than 90% of the fund will be taken for like online lending, but the 10% will be taken for development plus marketing, digital marketing, both offline. Then, yeah, in next 5 years, we'll be having at least 30,000 users who are having downloaded. I mean, they'll be downloading our application, and like they'll be benefited with our application. And surely we can make the FDI investment about 45 to 50 million, and the market capitalization will be 5% in next 5 years. We are very sure in that. And again, like we make with tier 3, 4, 5 city and towns in like central and eastern India. So it is very easy. Like we can easily find out the right people. Yeah, further. Yeah, this is about the management team. You can still go down so that you can. Vikash Kumar Jain is actually the founder and director, and Neha is also the founder and director. Myself, you can see in the fourth place, Divya Prabha, CTO and associate director. And soon I will become the director when the application is launched, and when it is reached, I'll also become one of the director. And other persons or CAs and CAs, I mean chartered accountants and board advisors. And you can go down. Yeah, the team size totally is 20 to 50. And it has been started, the fund house has been started in the like April 1, 2018. And but the company is the company is more than it is started in 1990. You can calculate it is the company is having that experience, but the application, the brand fund house is being launched out by 2018 April. And this is what the thing totally, and you have to tell what is all about.